Hi there, it's Alana from Baker Art. I'm not going to do a painting today. I'm going to show you how I mix up my paints. I'm in Australia, obviously, by the accent. Floetrol is very expensive here, and for one of the Australian Floetrol is $56 for 4 litres. I know in America it's a lot more expensive for you to get that there, but we also don't have the cheaper alternative, so we can't get the cheap Floetrol that you get over there. That is the only Floetrol we can get here easily. We can get it shipped from America, but then again shipping costs are astronomical, so it doesn't make any sense to get it. So that's about $56 for 4 litres. PVA in the same size is, I got a bottle at Bunnings for, which is a hardware store here in Australia. It was 4 litres, and I think it was either $22 or $23, something like that. And because that also gets mixed with water, you end up with about 6-ish litres. I didn't do the maths fully, but because you go 2 to 1 with water, so I think it's about 6 litres you end up with for $22 instead of $56 for 4 litres. So I get the PVA and I mix it with water 2 to 1. So 2 parts PVA, if you can see that, 2 parts PVA and 1 part water. And then I mix that up and I keep that in my little bottle there. And I've got another couple of bottles made up. I just find it easier with the squeezy nozzle. So I've got some new paints and I have made up all of them. I've got one left that I will show you how I make it up, and then I will show you what I do to get them all the same consistency. So because even though all of these new ones that I've got are all the same brand, they can all be different thicknesses. Okay, so this is the Montmartre satin, and I'll show you what I do. So I've got these little squeezy bottles off eBay. They work out about $1 each, but they're very, very handy. So I've turned the scale around so you can see it. Now, these scales aren't very accurate. If you've ever used them, you know, sometimes it can take quite a lot to get the scale to actually even move. I do have one of these better scales that are really accurate, you know, to 0.01 of a gram, and you see it moving and you can get very accurate. But for this one anyway of mine, it only goes up to 70 grams. So it's all right when I'm doing a little mixture of something and I can get my ratios 100% right. But if I'm doing anything bigger, like I want to do for this, which is going to be 100, you know, around 100 grams, it just errors out. So I have to use that. And so this one isn't going to be 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. So put it on 0, put my bottle on, and then I'm going to 0 it again. I should be in the, I'm doing it in mils. So now we're at 0. So I add 35% paint. So these bottles hold 120 mils. I'm just going to make it up to 100 mils. That gives you some shaking room, and it also, you know, gives it a nice round figure to work with. So I do this until we get up to 35. 33 there. See, really, like, because I moved my hand there on the table, can you see that? It changes the weight. So yeah, these aren't 100% accurate, but okay, so we've got up to 35 there. Then what I do is I put up to 100. See, now that's changed again. I wonder if it's 33 or 35. Oh, now we're at 34. Not 100% accurate. I might just add a touch more. Now we're going to 36. Oh, okay. And then I use the PVA and water mix and bring that up to 100. So that's only because I'm doing it in a round number. If you were doing 50 mils, if you wanted to make up 50 mils of paint, then you would just need to work out what the percentage is. So for me, I do 35% paint, 65% PVA. Now, I got these longer sticks just at one of the discount stores. With these, I like to see here you've got all your PVA at the top. If I put these on now, I find this just gets filled up with PVA in the nozzle and it doesn't shake well. I like to give it a little bit of a mix, and these longer sticks have been really good for that. So I just give it a bit of a mix. This is a, what's this called? Ultramarine Blue. So I'll just give it a nice good mix up. Then you just got to really give it a good shake. As you can see now, there's a little bit of, if you can see in there, the white sort of mixed in there. But when I've done it before without stirring it first, that whole thing is just covered with PVA. Another little tip, if you're doing these, I always have one sitting there open, so that when you take the lid off, you can just sit it there. Now, that's a little bit thick, but what I'll do is I'll show you, because that one's probably going to need water. What I also do for myself is I write down ultramarine blue. Now I have numbers, so this is 88. That's just for my own reference because I made a little color chart. So that way I can look at the color chart, see what colors I want to use on the, I'll show you, see if I can take you down and show you that quickly without. So if you can see on the side of my bookshelf there, I have all the colors and everything has a number, so I can see what kind of, you know, opacity they have or how translucent they are. So, you know, you can see there that that one is a lot more opaque than the one next to it. So it just is handy to have a quick reference. And so that is why I have my own little numbering system. So on there I write that it's, I write the name, I write my number, I write what's in there. So 35% paint and 65% PVA at this point. If I do add water, like in this one, so I just write plus W. I can't say how much because water varies by each one. So, okay, so let's get this out of the way, and now I will show you what I do to check if they're the same. Okay, so, oh, and just a little tip too, all your sticks and stuff like that, you can just wipe them off and let them dry and reuse them. As you can see here, you know, these have all been used several times. You can see by all the different colours on them. As long as you let them dry in between using them, colours don't mix and anything like that. I haven't thrown a stick away since I've started this, and I haven't had any problems with anything mixing. The only time I grab a brand new clean stick is when I'm doing white, just in case, but I haven't had any problems. Okay, so I've just gotten a piece of cardboard out of the bin, drawn a line. I do it 5 centimeters away. That's just because I like to, I'll show you, but I count and see how long it takes for them to drip down to the line. and see which ones drip faster or slower, and then you can see which ones are thicker or thinner. So what I do, I'll do the first couple, then I will speed this up and put all of the other colours there, and then I will come back with talking and giving instructions again. So what I do, I think, are you going to be in there? Yeah, okay. So you put a blob, okay, not too, like, I know we don't like to waste paint, but not too small, okay. So this is the colour I made up myself because I just got myself a Payne's Grey, which I find is very dark. Payne's Grey to me, I was thinking was going to be more of a blue. Obviously in this brand, it's more of just a grey. So I made up like a lighter colour. So you can make up your own colours. So I just mixed the Payne's Grey with white. All right, so I'll speed this up now and I'll be back. Okay, so I've just grabbed one of my old ones because I know that I've gotten that to the consistency that I want. So this is something that you're going to have to work out what consistency you want depending on what technique you're going to use. I like to do a lot of Dutch pours, so I just do them all to the same sort of thinner consistency. If you want to do ring pours or something like that, then you're going to have to make them a little bit thicker. This one, I know I've already got to where I want it, so that's going to be like my base, so my baseline. So how quickly or slowly all of these travel compared to this one will mean whether or not I need to add more water or more paint to thicken or thin it. Okay, so I'm just going to see. Now, it should be okay. You probably should be able to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this up. I'm going to see how long it takes, who gets there quickest, all of that kind of stuff. And then we can go from there. So I normally lift it and count to 5 and see where they're all at 5. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm going to use it. Yep. So now you can see that this one is my thinnest. This one and this one are the same, so I'm not gonna. Okay, so remember that was my baseline, so this one I know is right, and that one I've basically gotten to the exact same point in 5 seconds. Okay, so I'm not going to add water or do anything to that one, so that one is done. This looks like my thickest. Okay, so it's gotten to the furthest away. So, and that was the last one that I just made, which was the ultramarine blue, which I told you I thought was a bit thick and needed water, but I didn't do it so that we could see for this purpose. So hang on, I've gotten rid of my, so this is where I like to have my empty bottle sitting there. So what I do is I just have a little jug of water. I use one of these syringes that you use for medicine so that I can work out, you know, how much I'm adding. Now, because that's quite thick, I'm going to go with 5 mils straight away. And then shake it up. What I will end up doing is then doing another little test. So once I, you know, add a little bit to all of these, then I will give it another test and see where we go from there. Okay, so that one I've added 5 mils to. This one is probably not far off that one, and so is that one. So this one, we're just going to add 5 mils straight away. And also this one. What I do when I do them, I just have them all laying in order over there, in which order I poured them, so I know exactly which one to pick up. Okay, so we'll give these two a good shake. Okay, so that was that one. that one, you know, might just go with 4 mils on that one and see. 1 mil extra, sorry, 1 mil less than we were doing on the other ones, because that seems to be a little bit thinner. Slightly, it's a little bit closer to the line. And then we've got these 2 greens. Which we'll do 3 mils and we'll see how that goes. So I just, you know, get it in the syringe, put it up to 3 mils, and then just shoot that in that one, and it was 3 mils in this one. So I've got 3 mils, shoot that in, and we shake. Okay, now what I will do is just do another, I suppose I could, I don't know. So I'll just do another, so I just get this and I mark it at 6 centimeters because I've got to allow for the drop of paint as well. Oh, put the ruler in that paint then. Oh, and then I've got the turquoise one there, don't I? That was a bit thick. Sorry, a bit thin. I need to thicken it up a little bit. So that was that one, because we see that that went past. So what I will do with that is I'm just going to add just a squirt of, the problem with this is actually I mixed it as a colour, so now I'm going to make that be darker than what I wanted, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this white as well. We'll see what happens with that, because this colour that I made was this turquoise, but it was really quite dark, but I wanted a lighter version of the turquoise, so I added white. So what I will do, we'll just add that little bit of extra paint in there and give it a good shake. Oh, I put the wrong lid back on. I picked up the clean lid. That's okay. I will just wash that lid. Okay, so now we do the same again. So I will just speed this up for you. Okay, so once again, that's what I'm basing it on, because that's the one I already knew was the right mix. Okay, so I'm going to do the same again, hold it up, count to 5, see where they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so look, they don't have to be exact. Okay, so I'm pretty happy that these are all roughly the same. Now that one that I thickened up a little bit has probably gone a little bit too thick. And this one, again, is going to need even more water. So I think that was probably where the one was that was about 4 mils. So if I add probably, if we go 3 mils more on that one, and give it a shake. that one at the moment. I don't know if I would bother, but I might just add 1 mil in there. It's not too far behind the others. We'll just add 1 little mil in there. And then what I'll just do, I'll just do another test on these to count to 5. We know that this one got to there by 5 seconds. So I don't have to waste anymore. Now, these little things, when you shake them up, you can get a little bit of a eruption when you take the lid off, so just be aware of that. Do it with a tissue. So that's that one. And that one. Don't, you know, I hate wasting paint like the rest of us, but you still need to do, you know, a little mound of that. All right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now, okay, so this one's gone down further because it's been tilted twice. So that's why I put that line there. That was where the pink was at, which we're about at. I'm not going to stuff around with this one anymore. That's, you know, that's pretty close. So that is how I make sure they all get to the same consistency. Then what I will do, because I know that I put 8 mils of water in that. I didn't, and I don't really know. I can't remember what I put for these ones, so I just put plus water. So I know I had to add water to it. Because, as I said, they all need different. And that one needed water. They all need different. So the only one out of all those colours I've mixed up today, and even though it was the same brand as all of the others, was the Payne's Grey. It didn't need any water at all. It was straight mix. That is how I mix. As I said, if you're going to do a different pour that might need thicker, I want them on the thinner side. These could probably even be a little bit thinner with a Dutch pour. I'm in the midst of trying to work out a good consistency for that. But this just is a way that you can tell that everything is the same. So if you need all your paints to be the same, or if you do need one to be thicker or thinner, I know different pours, yeah, sometimes your base needs to be thicker than your colours and stuff like that. So you can do this test and see, you know, and alter it to get them to the consistency that you want. Okay, all right, that's it from me for now, and see you next time. Thanks.